Ashiera, and I'm videotaping this video for Message to a Messenger YouTube. This Message to a Messenger YouTube came out of experience, and first of all, I'll give you my background. My background is that I have been an accountant, and then I went to being a professional healthcare provider, and also I'm also a financial advisor, certified financial advisor. I'm also an author who have written 2 books from experience, and one is Parental Instinct, and the other one is Journey to Inner Healing. And all those books speak about real life problems that are faced every day by everybody, both men and women. So I decided to to bring you this knowledge on this YouTube, so you can understand the process of being a victim and then being an overcomer at the same time. So therefore now I'm going to just speak about myself, and then in the future I'll be posting videos from various experiences. And this video, as I tape it, I have been counseling people who have gone through the same thing. They are still victims. They are those who are still in the process of overcoming, and there are also those who are still in it and thinking they can change. Because in every victim circumstances, there is the empath and there is the narcissistic abuser. So I'll be talking on all those topics of happy marriages, narcissistic experiences. I'll be also talking about the stability of acknowledging that marriage is an institution which is being attacked by Satan now and then, and also acknowledging that marriage is a two people who come together and make a background, a strong foundation for the marriage. It's not half person coming to half person to make whole. No, it's a full person coming to a full person making one whole. So, like I say, I have written these books to enhance the process of healing for each individual. And on this YouTube, I want you, when you come in, you'll be satisfied by whatever we'll be posting, and you'll be, even if you are not a victim, you can learn from it, so that if you are planning even to have a family, you can understand the process, and you basically need to understand even the person who you'll be joined to. So so now I just wanna just give an overview of what has happened to me. Yes, being a very strong professional person, I worked at John Hopkins Medical Center. I practiced there for a long time, and I also practiced at University of Maryland Medical Center for many years. And then I practiced at Baylor and White, All Saints at Fort Worth, Texas. And before all that, I also worked for Chase Manhattan Bank for a little bit before I went to become a healthcare provider. And basically I'm a very strong person, and a person who is loving, a person who is understanding. But after I went through what I went through, I came to understand the world from a different perspective. That whatever you go through is a chance for you to become stronger and to encourage other people. It's not, you don't have to be a victim and remain a victim and die a victim. No, you become who you are mainly by being broken and being restored. That's how you become a new person. And that's so after I went through what I went through, then that gave me the ability and the strength to come publicly to talk about what can happen to a human being. I went through brokenness for almost 10 years. And being me an empath, and an empath is somebody who has faced a childhood trauma when growing up, and they think they can fix other people. Because I thought, me being who I was, educated and career person, and also very stable in finances and all that, that I will not be penetrated by a predator to become a victim. That's what I thought. But unfortunately, because I am an empath, somebody who has faced childhood trauma, I was open. There was a door that was open, and that door was the door of feeling like I have to always prove that I'm the restorer, I'm the ameder, I'm the one going for people, I'm the one who fixes the brokenness. But unfortunately, it was not true that I do that. It's not true. I had to accept that there was brokenness in me, that I needed to be amended first, even before I get to an institution like marriage. So being an empath, I always felt like I was deserted. I felt like I was not the best in the family. And that spirit kind of carried on even to my adulthood until I faced the challenge. And after I faced the challenge, when I came out of it, I had first to understand myself. Even before I come to this YouTube, I had to understand myself first before I could understand anybody. Because when I was faced by marriage, which the person exposed narcissistic characteristics, and you all know narcissism comes from childhood trauma, and I was thinking that this person would be fixed by allowing him to suck from me the strength that I had, even the faith that I had in God was being sucked out. I was isolated and separated and became a victim on my own. Loneliness encompassed me, and it camped my camp, and I thought I was still strong and going on to work. So actually I became a very workaholic because I didn't want to get back home, because I did not want to face the challenge of the day. Anyway, that because of that spirit, it's a spirit where you feel that you have to be fulfilled by being an empath, by being that you're fixing everybody else except yourself. But after in December 2017, I went through traumatic experience where even my physical body was broken because of the stress that I lived in for 10 years. It caused me to have even physical illness, and I became paralyzed from waist down. And in the hospital, there was no hope that I should recover from the hospital. In fact, I was being faced by being taken to palliative care, and it just be turned and die. But because of the inner strength that I had, I fought it very hard. But today I can say I'm whole again. But the wholeness did not start until I faced myself and asked myself, why am I so broken? Why do I always to be the empath who is trying to fix everybody else? Why am I subjecting myself from victimization? And that's when I started digging my history, and I found that there was a time that in my childhood, being raised up with a good family, but in my childhood there was a part of it that I felt neglected, not neglected and rejected, because what happened, my dad himself was sometimes like a part-time dad for a long time in my life, being that I was the youngest of the children. I became, I felt like I had been rejected by my dad until I was 14 years when he embraced me. So that rejection carried on even to my adulthood, in fact, even to nowhood. But then I overcame it after I realized I had to heal first, even to walk away from the narcissistic abuse situation. I have to really be whole myself. And that's why today I'm posting this video to understand that before you start healing, it's not pointing fingers to the narcissistic person, but pointing fingers to yourself and trying to find out what is the battle you're fighting, because the other person, unless you give somebody the right to abuse you, they cannot abuse you. But for empaths, they normally have an open door where they give their life to a person, a narcissistic person, to abuse them. And until you cover that hole, until you close that window, you will always meet narcissistic people who want to take advantage of you, because as you all know, narcissists feed on feed on your tears to boost their ego. They break you so they can be whole. There are people who cannot stand on themselves, but they want to break you so they can be whole. And this can be a woman or a man. It's not only it's not a man. No, it's both. It's female and a male. So they want to break the other person, and once you're a victim and you show them tears, that you boost their ego. And let me tell you this, you empaths, don't think that you're gonna fix it by prayer. Don't fix it by even fasting. It's not fixable. It's a situation that the individual has to face themselves and accept themselves and know where this desire to dominate another human being is coming from. Because you know, I'm very Christian based, and we have been ordered by God to dominate other animals, not a human being, another human being dominating you. No, that's not what it is. Although the women, as Christ loved the church, so a man should love his family, and his marriage will stand with that. But it's not the other way, that abuse and break the other person so you can boost your ego and dominate the other person. No, you don't have the right to dominate the other person. So to conclude, I would conclude that the empath, me, the victim, have to start digging out where this desire of being empathetic to the other person and nursing the other person until they break you, they beat you up, to the physical abuse, where it comes from. And therefore, cheerio, I'll see you in the next video. I'll be posting 2 videos a week, and please comment and subscribe. Thank you.